We're back here in Kendall Ice Arena here in Kendall, Florida, where we have day 2 of our 2-day doubleheader between the USF Bulls and the University of Miami Hurricanes. My name is Ryan Lee. Alongside me, Connor Stein, the entire way through as we bring you all the action here in Kendall, where it has been We are here for day 2 of our 2-game doubleheader between the USF Bulls and the University of Miami Hurricanes, where Miami got the win yesterday and USF want to return the favor in game 2. Both these two sides will play again in D3 tomorrow. We'll play again in D3 later today, but they have a chance to square off where USF has a chance to potentially level the playing field after taking the loss to Miami yesterday, and Miami have a chance to go double. But right now it's a 2-on-1. Escalating across. Ferry scores! 18 seconds into the game, and Riker Ferry opens up the scoring. It's 1-0.
Man, oh man, what a way to start for this Miami Hurricanes squad. You see here just a simple breakout, a pass to Festerstock really gets this one going as Ferry finds the back of the net, and just like that, 18 seconds into this one, the Miami Hurricanes do exactly what they needed to do.
So that took all of 18 seconds for Riker. Ferry scored a goal in last night's game as well. He scored 2 of them, actually. That puts him at 6 goals on the year for the 23-24 AAU All-Star as the faceoff makes its way back to center. It's his man before it makes its way back to center. Doriso sends it forward. Mensimer wants Turlick. Brandon Stein is paired with Mensimer. They try to send things out of the defensive end as Mensimer will take over. He's drowning a little bit in a sea of green as Ray Owens takes a bump on his man. Couldn't get the release. Now it springboards Jake Turlick on the fall. Two game from yesterday between Zach Laniak and Max Hoffman. And Laniak's side, the Bulls carry on with Dietz. He comes in. 2 minutes. We're at 1 aside.
Once again, we see that talented freshman Dietz. Grant Dietz, the freshman from Illinois, put on a show. His 8th goal this season. Yesterday, he made a big impact and is picking up right where he left off, and we are tied 1-1 here with 18:26 to go.
A little bit too quick on the draw there was Jacob Duhaime as the freshman gets kicked out of the dot. Dietz, the goal scorer, will take over from there. And the icing against the Canes will send this one all the way back. So we saw a lot of that intensity in the first game yesterday where those two really went back and forth out of the entire way through. And we're not even through 2 minutes yet, and we've already seen the same thing happen twice.
Yeah, no, same intensity, same thing you want to see. But what I'm really liking out of the Miami Hurricanes is they look a lot more last couple games, despite their 6 losses.
Pinned along the boards, no one able to get it free. Towards the corner, Duhaime can't escape McGuire, so it's going to be Jusko to get it up, but not out. Glove down, continuing on. Offenbach hits the outside of the post, and it also juggled into the equipment of Hoffman, so nothing more will come through. As Max Hoffman looking to bounce back after taking a couple of ugly goals late in yesterday's game, but he seems to be very much the wiser, considering that some of these guys who will play in today's game, they're at least so far in triple duty so far, including the likes of Ricky Kashikani, as well as Nate Koo, some of the guys who stayed over. Both Koo and Kashikani on the ice right now as the faceoff's won by the Bulls. In tight, Hoffman back-to-back saves.
so far a strong period, strong start here for the Bulls and the Canes. Both sides very even thus far.
Quick on the draw again. It's a matinee matchup here in Kendall, so I can understand maybe some of the antsiness that both the Bull back on it as he tries to escape his man Holtberg. A chance for Fensterstock, but elects to retreat as he has Zadakis and Stone as the D-line. Fensterstock regains the lead for Miami. It's 2-1, just over 3 minutes in.
Man, that Ferry, Asulin, and Fensterstock line striking once again for this Miami Hurricanes squad. We see great outlet here. Once again, Ferry kind of dekes it past, and all of a sudden Asulin in a 2-on-1 and just gets it past the USF defenseman to Fensterstock, and now it is a quick 2-1 lead for the Canes, and we're not even 5 minutes into this game.
We just got past 3, and now the USF Bulls, they responded once. How do they do so again? Hasn't been very often that Miami has struck first in any of their games. The try from distance allows USF to equalize.
My goodness.
So it's only taken a matter of seconds. This time it's USF on the response.
I want to see who get this one. No, just a great outlet pass here for the Bulls, and just a quick shot, top shelf corner. And the Bulls quickly respond. This is like in under 4 minutes. Just leaving off where they left off in the game last week, or last night rather.
So already 4 goals, and we just got past the 3.5-minute mark as we're right where we started, level between USF and the University of Miami. Ray Owens gets it out of the pile as he wants to start something forward. Turlick takes a collision before he gets to the puck, but it's not going to draw anything there as a long-range slapper. Hoffman will swat it down so Mensimer can take it from there. Mensimer's got Matt Callahan. He's gone triple duty so far, but he still's got some wheels as he goes from distance. Laniak steers it towards the corner as Turlick tries to go upward. Loose stick, that's Matt Callahan as it goes up for Owens. Mensimer along the blue line, lets that one fly. Took the deflection, scramble in front, and that one gets covered by Laniak.
Yeah, great save there by Laniak. As we look here, yeah, the Canes once again circling well. Callahan lost his stick there, but Mensimer still at the high point, taking a good quality shot, and then some loose change left, but quickly smothered up there by Lanier.
Laniak and Hoffman both going back-to-back as Connor Sheridan is the backup for the USF Bulls. Ryan Cook is the third goaltender. He started the D3 game. Try from range for USF into the corner as Mensimer chases. Has to pester his man, Jack Fleer. High slot, no one goes. Second chance on a long try. Dylan Cowles gets denied as he was looking for his fourth goal. Couldn't get past Hoffman.
Yeah, but so far, I mean, both very even squads. I've liked what I've seen from both of them. Just got to clean up the things defensively. Both offensively looked very strong, but if you want to keep this one not looking like a football score.
And then because of some of the happenings along the rink, we're going to have to hold things up as the Zamboni door just got jarred open. And we might need to reset the locks. I'm assuming whomever rolled it out before the start of the game maybe didn't set the locks properly, so a big collision in that corner wiggled that corner board loose.
I'm going to be honest, that looks pretty broken. I don't know if that's just a lock issue or kind of see the boards kind of mismatched there. I don't know if our camera's picking it up, but
Two things that have tended to go together at many points is Kendall Ice Arena and whatever happenings may go on within the rink. Last year, we saw a pane of glass be exchanged in the middle of the game. It actually fell off and they had to reinsert it. We've seen full panes of glass have to be full-on replaced. We've seen a game get canceled before because of some questionable conditions on the ice with some clips and nicks along the surface. And now they have to reset that corner Zamboni door, as it has to mostly be a safety issue at this point. It is going to reduce the overall quality of play. They reset the door to a...
Looks pretty much the exact same it did, but I think they're just going to let it play on and just hope that it doesn't break, honestly.
Stuck in the corner as there's 2 bulls and 2 canes. Back to the point, can't keep it in. It's DeRiso, but he's getting chased from behind. He's got Charlie Brandenstein on his tail. Dylan Cowles tries to fish it out, but it's kept in by Jusko. Jusko walks in, takes a shot. It's under Laniak, and the rebound's tapped in. It's 3-2 Miami, as the first shot, Laniak got the stop, and then Jusko with the poke in. It's 3-2 Miami.
I think Jusko got this shot on net. I'm not really sure if he's the one who's going to get this goal, but he was the one first in line. But as we see here, great job keeping this puck in right off the blue line. We see he just walks right in the center of the zone and just takes a shot, and then it finds its way in the back of the net. The sweet Selly. I believe they're going to credit that one with the goal, but Berg was right there to backhand it just in case. Nevertheless, 3-2 Canes.
5 minutes and 20 seconds in. That's basically a goal per minute if you average it out. As that's going to be a trip up a chance. Ferry in front. He scores again. Back-to-back goals for Miami. Only separated by 8 seconds. And 12 seconds later, Riker Ferry increases the lead to 2.
Man, this team is looking like a completely different animal than what we've seen in these first 6 games or so. I mean, they are beating the #1 team in the College Hockey South standings by 2 goals right now. But as we see in the replay, this Ferry and Festerstock line just goes to work once again. Ferry steals that puck and just buries it. And man, 5 goals here. Not even 10 minutes off the clock.
That's going to be the second of the game for Riker Ferry. That time he got set up by Fensterstock. He had a 2-on-1 earlier where Elian Estulin did the heavy lifting. But now USF want to climb within 1. Goes across. And now's the chance. Elian Estulin, he goes wide, but it hits off the mask of Laniak. In a 4-2 game, as we just crossed the 6-minute mark. Across it goes where Welch drops it off. Hoffman with the save off of the release from Grant Dietz. Back to the point. A deflection goes in front of Hoffman, and then there's a penalty as well. We see Owen Welch. He's down on his knees after taking a cross check from behind, which is most likely what Evan Zadakis is going in for.
Let's see what they call it here. Looks like the Bulls will head on the power play. Not really what you want to see. Up 2 goals. Still lots of time left in this first period. I think they're going to get them both, actually. I think it might be 4-on-4 hockey.
That's what it looks like for right now, as the one USF player trying to do the little sit and swing the legs over. The door inadvertently opened under him.
Looks like he tried to hop the bench and then just kind of didn't realize the door was open there. But either way, a lot of conferring going on. I think these referees are really trying to calm this down. They don't want any kind of antics that they saw last night. As we saw, the ref crew had a tough task last night with handling all of those shenanigans, but I think they're just trying to clean this up as much as possible. Still waiting for their calls here.
So the USF bench and penalty box, they're right next to each other. There's no partition there, so it's kind of hard to differentiate where the bench starts and where the penalty box begins. You see one of the coaches for USF leaned up against the board to maybe receive an explanation. And you see 3 players on that coach's left, but it's hard to see if those guys are in for the penalty box or if they're in for the bench and there's just some lean over. We'll just have to wait for the time to go up on the board. But one thing we do know is Evan Zidakis, he's in for 2, most likely for that cross-check from behind as Owen Welch took a spill. The senior from St. Cloud, Florida. He hasn't scored a goal yet for the defenseman, but he has been very stingy in terms of going up into the offensive play, trying to assist in the cycling of the puck. And then you also have Evan Zidakis, who has been so strong as well, the junior from Chicago. He's been very strong defensively. He's been a very good setup man the whole way through, and that especially came about when it came time to, in probably the most crucial situation in the Nationals last year, where he got 8 assists on 5 games played, did Evan Zidakis, as he sits in for Miami. And the question is, who is in the box, if anyone is, for USF?
But as I was saying earlier, the drama just continues between these two squads. I mean, talk about a series that you just don't want to miss. I mean, this series has had everything so far. High-powered goal machines, everything from penalties. I mean, anything you could want in a hockey game. But I think they're really just trying to sort this one out. It's taken a little bit to figure it out. I don't really know if we caught. Ryan, did you see what happened? I think it was just a little banter in front of the net, and then...
So the one thing we do know is that Zidakis definitely got a nice two-handed shove in. So they actually wiped off all the penalties off the board. Miami's going to send 5. So there's a good chance that these two will just be sent for the respective misconducts.
I think they might have another player in the box there, too, as well. I think they
it's all a question if they send 4 or they send 5.
They're sending a 4.
So this will actually be an opportunity for the University of Miami. It's a 2 and 2 5s is what is going to be happening. So it's going to be Zidakis and Welch going into the box for 5 minutes each, but there's a second player in the USF box who will serve the extra 2 minutes, which is why we have the 2 minutes on the power play for the University of South Florida Bulls. So Miami will be on the power play for 2 minutes.
Just more of those penalties that
very ready for the draw with Jack Fleer.
I think they're checking, I'm not sure, some Bull might have lost his teeth there in the bench. They got a trainer over there, but they're telling him to hold it. And now there's another USF player in the box.
Could just be doing some maintenance, but what we do know is going to be a 5-on-4 for Miami as they couldn't get the draw, so USF gets it away. So it's a 2-minute Miami power play as the total minutes turn out being a 2 and a 5 and a 5 respectively, where USF will get dinged up for the extra 2. Mensimer leaves it behind, so Sam Stone can start something. Miami went 1 for 4 on the power play yesterday. That included a 9-minute double minor major. But Sam Stone walks in as he tried to go for Ferry. Ferry bobbles the puck, and it's sent down. And Mensimer can't get past his man as that save had to be made off the shot from Choliwa. And a little bit of extra contact with Choliwa and for Mensimer. This is going to be a cross check at the end of the day, so this might negate the remaining 113 on the penalty, and this most likely will as Mensimer gets escorted into the penalty box.
This is just getting a little bit out of control, just obviously leaking over from that last game. We're just seeing more of that physicality. They've really got to clean this up overall. But nevertheless, it will be five on 4.
It's going to be some 4-on-4. It looks like just some substitution mishaps for.
Sullivan just stepped out of the box.
So we're going to have 4-on-4 for a minute 13, and there'll be a 47-second power play for USF as the Bulls win the faceoff. It's stuck at the point. Trying to go near side goes Uhrig, but he sends it back for Ott. Uhrig and Ott, they go across. Quick slapper goes, but it goes off of a leg. McGuire can't get it free, but he's got some help with Fensterstock, and eventually they send it back to center.
McGuire would have been off to the races there.
Kyle McGuire, the only one into the corner as he braces for Haley incoming. As we have another 45 of 4-on-4. Sam Stone works with it, leaves it for Owens. Raymond Owens slides it for Turlick. Wanted to go across, but it goes off of a leg. Kept in, not for long by McGuire, but still possession for Miami as it's Sam Stone. Stone walks in, fires. He goes wide as he went stick on stick with Cooper. Turlick can't get past the official skate, but Owens keeps it in the zone. Owens with a blast into the glove of Laniek.
Yeah, that puck kind of got let free there. We kind of see the Canes keeping good zone possession. There's a little scuffle in the corner, but it was just waiting there for Raymond Owens, who just takes a nice clapper and is quickly saved there by the USF goaltender, Laniek.
Laniek's been sharp so far, has to hold on for another 15 seconds before his side, South Florida Bulls, get a power play for a little over 45 seconds. USF enters as the first penalty expires, wanting to go across with the Bulls, but cannot do so. No one able to convert. Crash into the corner as it's going to be Kashikani trying to get free. He's got Kagan with him. Kashikani, he's got the body and eventually gets the stick on the swing. And now it's a chance for Callahan to dart up ahead. Here goes Matt Callahan, turns on the gas, but he gets poke checked from behind as Holtberg jars it loose. Kagan back to center, another 18 for USF on the power play. They went 2 for 7 yesterday, and they most likely are 11 seconds from going 0 for 1 today. As Dustin Holtberg on the retrieval awaits for the 5 aside, and they gotta get up ice, the Bulls do, before we're back to even strength, and that's where we are now. Is Dylan Holtberg to his brother Dustin Holtberg. Kevin Rosello stripped away by Ferry. Had a chance, and now it's all alone. Alain Escalating, alone! Couldn't hit the net. He hit the side. But Ferry keeps it in play. Ferry goes leg on leg with a defender. But Mensimer is still alive for the possession for the University of Miami as it's back and forth with him and Stone. Ferry to negate icing as Estulin's on the chase. Estulin back to the point as Stone cycles it for Ferry. Ferry walks in tight, saved by Laniek, still loose behind the net. The corner goes Riker Ferry. He's got a man, Jared Fensterstock, wanting to go off the side, hit the leg of Laniek. Way to keep it inside for Stone as he charges up ahead. Ferry wanted Fensterstock, but Estulin's up top. Estulin from distance hits the boards. Mensimer keeps it alive for the Canes as it's Max Mensimer again. Lets it fly into the glove of Zach Laniek.
That felt like a little bit of a Canes power play there. They had their top unit of Ferry and Asulin and Festerstock, but man, talk about just great offensive pressure there overall.
Still a 4-2 game just past the halfway mark of the first period, where the University of Miami Hurricanes have the 2-goal lead with 2 goals from Ferry, and you even have Jack Jusko and Ray Owens joining the party. Owens has goals in back-to-back games. Ferry's got 2 goals in the last 2 games each. So talk about a weekend for Riker Ferry, a 4-goal weekend for him, as the senior from West Newton, Massachusetts wants to continue on as he was an all-CHS player, and some contact after the play as Koo hit the deck with Welch making contact. That play was blown dead. It's only a matter of for what, as everyone
They were going to call a hand pass on that.
makes their way back to the University of Miami end. That signal was for as referees confer.
I think Coach Tom is asking if this should be a center ice faceoff, which it will be because it was in the USF end.
So they allow Duhame to go back into the box as he and Dietz were serving their respective misconducts earlier. Zadakis back in as well. Kashikani just lets that one go towards Laniek as he just pushes it aside. Welch. into the skates of Stowe as he wants to springboard it up ahead, but Miami are trying to come back on defense as McGuire lays the body out. McGuire's got Jusko in support, but instead elects for Adam Berg. Berg couldn't maintain his footing, so it's back behind Hoffman's net. Berg couldn't get the poke up. USF back to the point. Cooper sends it wide as it hits the outside of the frame. Finds John Cooper again. Stowe with a cycle. Stepping up is Welch. He's got Koo on him. And Welch has to race after it with McGuire in the way. A bunch of bodies hitting the deck behind the net as it makes its way into the point. Shot is kicked away from Max Hoffman as it was attempted on Mek from Chaliwa. The captain of this squad steps up into the plays. The try from distance is held off by Hoffman again. Cleared, up, out, clipped USF, and Miami were able to get some bodies available for the change before the icing. And this is going to cause some confusion with the officials, but I can honestly call it maybe a 1,000 IQ move to just get the change on as soon as the icing goes, and then you just have to kind of play your luck at that point.
Yeah, I know. You saw there all the Canes kind of sprinting off of the ice. They were trying to get off before that whistle blew. Some did, but I believe that was a much-needed icing, though, to be honest with you. I mean, the USF Bulls were pressuring very, very, very hard against Max Hoffman, but the Canes found a way to get an icing. It was necessary.
Bulls win again. Wrapped around goes Cowles. Into the corner, Mensimer got a gracious bounce, elected to go for Koo, but couldn't get the reception. You have Koo and Jusko, a little miscommunication there as it makes its way back to the USF end, and now Miami can complete the change. Mensimer towards the corner as he tries to get away from Offenbach. He's got two green jerseys on him, Nate Koo along the boards. Jake Turlick tries to poke it up, but not out. Ray Owens in support. USF back on it. Kicked away by Mensimer, who eventually gets it out, and now it's a chance for Jake Turlick to turn on the engine. Jake Turlick steps on the gas, darts one, hits the blocker of Laniak. Urig straight into the USF bench, and this will be a defensive zone faceoff for the Bulls.
Yeah, an opportunity here for the Hurricanes. They had Turlick, another one of those 2-on-1 opportunities that we saw so much. Now that we've had 6 goals on the board, we've seen so many of those opportunities. Just wasn't able to bury it that time.
Sam Stone after the draw won by Ray Owens. Now it's a chance for Turlick. He wanted Owens in the high slot, but it was cut off by Adam Offenbach.
It's a great idea.
Turlick keeps it in, just sends it through. Huge collision on the ice as Turlick hits the deck. A chance for response. Braden Urig gets cut off as Turlick recollects. Owens couldn't keep it in. It's a chance for Jack Fleer. Fleer weaves through but couldn't get past Turlick, and it's back to center ice. Miami makes a couple of changes. The Bulls will do the same as it makes its way towards center. Estelin didn't have the reach, but just slaps it back for Sam Stone. Estelin wants Fensterstock. Stuck in the neutral ice area. Stone steps up. Ferry just sends it in deep. Laniak just carefully redirects it. Couldn't get it out, and now it's a chance for Ferry off of a bounce. Laniak with the kick away, but still alive for Miami.
Delayed
6 minutes to
penalty.
go in the first period, and it's going to be stuck along the boards.
Delayed penalty there, Slash. We saw, wasn't really behind, kind of saw, but we have that top unit there for the Canes. Once again, applying that pressure. They've just had a field day today in this first period thus far, and some in that game as well last night. But they will stay on the ice here for this power play. Can the Canes extend their lead?
Miami 0 for 1 on their initial power play, as that one was cut short by a penalty of their own. And for UM, it's not been without lack of trying. They did go 1 for 4 yesterday. It's just that their first opportunity was cut short by only 40 some odd seconds, as they already start off this power play back in their own end, as the line Escalating will take over after it's dropped off from McGuire. McGuire banks it for Ferry. Now Ferry lets it drag for Mensimer. Too far in front, it's offsides.
Yeah, they wanted what they had, but unable to keep both skates off that blue line. They will try to recollect and get back in the zone here, unable to do so far.
Miami looking for their third win. Their first back-to-back. USF Bulls trying to prevent back-to-back L's for the first time in their season. Max Mensimer gallops ahead, slips and slides into the corner. He's got Escalating at the blue line where it goes back for Mensimer. Mensimer and Escalating go back and forth, but it's left behind for Riker Ferry. Mensimer wanted to leave it behind, and he does for Escalating. Chips up and out, as Zadakis was unable to keep it in. Huge collision on Escalating, but it's a chance for Ferry. He's 1-on-3. Ferry, it's still in, as there's another 51 to go on the Miami power play. Escalating wraps around, kicked away by Laniek. Still in play, Stone off the bench for Fensterstock. Stone at the point, pass partially flubbed. He's got Escalating near side, holds, waits, off the skate of Ferry. Laniek with the save, no tap in there for Fensterstock. Still in for Zadakis, 15 to go. Shot blocked as there's another 10 left. Zadakis attempted to go across, but it makes its way back to the point. Evan Zadakis in the final 3 seconds of the power play. Stone from distance, rebound loose in front, no one able to claim it. And it is going to be it for the Miami power play. They haven't converted on their 2 tries. But Ferry up in front, wanted the first period hat trick. Just missed the net wide. Escalating for Fensterstock. Zadakis comes up. Tried to get it loose as Otts just bought a little bit of breathing room as Fensterstock reclaims. Ferry was offside, and it's going to be USF to reset. Miami will do the same off of a change. Kagan with the disruption off of the stretch pass for USF.
That was a
3:20 to go in the first. Bulls back. Tyler Stone, huge collision with Mensimer. Stone and Mensimer scrap into the corner with the puck just laying there. Ray Owens takes it out of the barrage. He's got Turlick with him and comes across to a wide open Matt Callahan. He's got some space, goes Callahan, takes a shot on the wide angle into the glove easily for Laniek.
Yeah, no, the Hurricanes had a strong power play there, but in this play here, we see kind of the offensive pressure by Callahan, and he takes a quality shot, unable to get anything loose. But no, to go back on that power play, just a strong power play we saw.
It's almost like they're winning those board battles, something they didn't really do yesterday, and that's really turned things around so far. Turley keeps it in. The shot gets deflected by Owens, swatted away by Laniek, and it gets played back to the point for Kagan. Danila Mikheyev. Mikheyev tries to work around Mensimer before it comes back for Choliwa. Choliwa goes around where it's Mikheyev into the corner. And Jusko gets it clear. Turlick lets that one fly so the Canes can get some fresh legs out. Jusko able to keep it in off of the turnover. Now it's Charlie Brandonson. Brandonson in a battle along the blue line. Unable to keep, but it's Mikheyev in the other direction. Mikheyev stripped away by Berg. Stuck in his skates, and only USF were able to sniff that one out with Kashikani making its way back in. Just under 2 minutes to go in a 4-2 game. All 6 goals came in the first 5.5 minutes of play. A chance for a 2-on-1 for the Bulls. Across on the backhand for Dietz. Had that hit Dietz's forehands, that could have easily been a 1-goal game. Outside of the frame goes Dietz with 90 to go. Kashikani
gotta
bodies
watch
his
his
man
stick.
off, takes Dietz to the ground, and that'll do it, most likely because the puck is under all the bodies there.
Yeah, Kashikani kind of got tied up there with that USF Bull. Dietz and Kashikani kind of went back and forth. Kashikani got away with a little bit of a hook there behind the play, but it seems like no harm done. But I think a little confused. Jusko's on the ice right now. He's on a knee, so I'm a little concerned about him. But
back on his own 2 feet, always the great sight to see. And when you see some of the guys, they're a little more willing to kind of complete the checks into the wall and maybe finish a hit. It really adds up over time in terms of just overall mentality and momentum, does it not?
yeah, no, for sure. This just seems like a wholly different team than what we've seen so far. Just overall, finishing checks, getting pucks down low, anything you could possibly want from a winning hockey team.
Hoffman lets that one fly behind him as Stone carries, as Fensterstock will poke it out. Final minute to play in the opening period. Grant Dietz goes across off of a stick. The attempt was for Holtberg. Back for Dietz behind the net, but Escalating jars it loose. Final minute of the period as it's banked off and down, but not all the way for an icing. Ferry jars it loose, and now he's one-on-one. Ferry holds on, wants support, wanted the hat trick, but he missed the net again. 2 first-period hat tricks in the first 5:30 for Riker Ferry, but it's a chance for USF to transition in the other direction. Zadakis pestering his man Offenbach as Estelin fires it around. Makes his way back for Dustin Holtberg. Stone up, still in. Ferry finally gets it clear, and Estelin just leaves that in no man's land so it could eat some seconds off the clock. Dietz had to let that one go because one of his other teammates was offsides. Dietz from an angle. Hoffman with a cover. 6 seconds left to go in the first.
Yeah, but this game has really calmed down since that first a 6 or so second, 5:52 seconds. Just a lot more clean hockey. Still some penalties in the mix, but nevertheless, just a lot cleaner of a game from both sides.
Ooh. That somehow careened all the way over Hoffman's head. It hits the side of the net, and that will be pinned on the boards by Estelin. Looks like USF just went for the shot instead of the draw. But you have to really credit what Miami has done, considering, as you mentioned, kind of a turnaround between yesterday and today alone.
Yeah, no, for sure. I just want to emphasize the importance of this first line from this squad. I mean, they were really the difference maker. You know, we almost had a hat trick early with Riker Ferry, but, I mean, they were really the difference maker in this first period. Just great thing to see when your top guys are going, the whole team is going. So we saw that well into this first period.
It's a 4-2 game after the initial 20 minutes of play. Second period comes up when we return. We return here for the second period of play between the University of Miami Hurricanes and the University of South Florida Bulls, where both sides have been going for broke in the entire first period. It was 6 goals in only the first 5.5 minutes. Ryan Lee alongside Connor Stein with you once again, where it has been very eventful, to say the least, in how things have panned out in the first period so far, Connor.
Yeah, no, obviously just a great period overall for the Canes. Lots of great things to see as we saw that first line kind of blossom with Asulin, Theory, and Festerstock really just developing well. And honestly, just as a team, they've just looked more complete. As we look forward to this third period, we will see if the Canes can translate their first period goods into the second. Miami once again starting out with that top line of Asulin, Ferry, and Festerstock.
A fresh 20 minutes on the board for period number 2. University of Miami, they're in the whites. They'll go from left to right in the second period of play. USF will go from right to left in the old greens in game 2 of 4 between the University of Miami and University of South Florida. Ryan Lee with Connor Stein with you here, and a quick turnover already. Chaliwa in tight, and he sends that one wide.
Early chance early.
That was only the first 17 seconds, not even, before that one was taken by Chaliwa. But it comes back to center ice where Zadakis has to evade his man, Stowe. And Stowe and Zadakis go back and forth, and Zadakis took a stick to the face, but no arms are up. As that gets covered up by Hoffman at the end of the day, and it's a little curious considering how some of the physicality has gone, but it kind of looks like there's a weird middle ground going on with letting some things fly, letting some things go to the box, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a defensive zone draw for the Canes.
Some tripping back and forth here, kind of leaking over into that second period as we see early.
Draw one by the Bulls. They slap that one into the corner. Kagan alongside his man, but it's Callahan who takes over with Owens. Raymond Owens at center as he walks in with Drake Turlick along his left. Turlick with a shot. That goes off of the netminder Connor Sheridan, who takes over for the second period for Zach Laniek. Connor Sheridan playing in his 6th start of the season. 4-0-1-1 he is in those starts. A draw and an overtime loss for Sheridan as that one gets jumped over the glass.
Yeah, but an interesting decision there by the USF coaching staff, switching goaltenders after a 4-goal let-in for the original goaltender. It'll be interesting to see how that kind of pans out. Will that make that much of a difference, or will he calm things down and kind of shut down this offense?
Well, you also have to remember that Laniek played the full game yesterday. They gave him a period today. Most likely that fatigue factor could have set in, so it gives Sheridan an opportunity to take over for the remaining 40. But Sheridan pokes that one wide as Owens collects. Owens trying to race past his man as he sends it along for Kagan. Kagan wants to go across, hits the glass, and couldn't connect with Callahan. Owens leaves it for Callahan as he goes for Kagan. They're not on the same page, so it's an open lane for Kevin Roseo. Roseo couldn't connect as Mensimer will hold on behind his own net. Chucked along, but not out. Kagan steals it back and eventually makes its way around off a Mensimer stick. Capped in by Roseo, but not out from the Miami defense as it's sent along by Caballero. Owens tries to get past his man, Mensimer. But it comes back to center where it's Dylan Cowles, a junior from Brandon, Florida. Tries to make that one in, but cannot do so with Mensimer the only one there. With Turlick, he wanted Owen board a potential break. But it's Jake Turlick once again as he banks it for Ray Owens. He's got some speed. Defender trips. Owen cuts across. Owen with a shot. They score! Goals in back-to-back games for Raymond Owens, and he's increased his lead to 3.
Man, Raymond Owens there kind of just tekes out the defender, as we'll see in this replay. You see here, they outlet the pass, and it's just off to the races. the USF defender kind of slips, and Owens just takes it top corner shelf, points at our camera as well for the Selly, and it is 5-2 Hurricanes.
That puts Raymond Owens at 5 goals in the last 4 games. And it's 5-2 for the Miami Hurricanes. Into the second period of play. Just sent along. Near side it goes for Offenbach, a grad student trying to go in, but it's cut off by Jusko. Jusko breaks it apart from Duhame, and it's still stuck along the boards, where it eventually gets cleared from Jusko.
USF player without a stick there.
The loose stick picked up as Dietz tried to push it along and eventually does so for Offenbach. Offenbach towards the corner. Brandon Stein leaves it for Adam Berg. Now it's a 2-on-1 for the Canes. Berg shoots off of Sheridan and out, but not with a lack of trying as the 2-on-1 rush goes for Adam Berg. He took it, but Sheridan was ready the whole way through.
Yeah, Brandon Stein does a great job getting this one out of the zone here, getting it to Berg as we see here, and then Berg with a high quality shot that just goes off the pad of the USF goaltender. Good quality chance though, good start for the Canes.
Long distance try, hits the corner. Only one there is Uhrig. Uhrig couldn't get it to go much further as Adakis will ping it off the boards. Ferry got the touch, so no icing against Miami. Miami haven't had a 3-goal lead all season long, and this is the first time they've done so. Yesterday they were able to get away with a 2-goal lead, just couldn't get that third in the gap, and now they have a chance to maybe build on it. That one trampolines off the board, and it's Jarrett Fensterstock with Estelin the trailer. Estelin sends it across. He's got Sadakis. Sadakis circles it around as it hits Fensterstock on the money. Estelin all alone. Estelin gets past one, behind the net. One is Sadakis in front, but Sheridan with a body. Estelin using his body to regain possession is Riker Ferry. In front, deflection, scramble in front, and it finds its way to the back of the net. A net front scramble after the pass from Ferry. It's a touchdown for University of Miami. It's 6-2.
We will see what they call this. The refs are conferring now, but for the moment, this one stands as we kind of see the Canes, that top, just dominating. We got a little bit of a hand tip into the net. I think that's what they might be talking about. The goal is not on the board yet. And now the referees are conferring with the Miami bench. I was going to say previously, whether this goal stays or not, this Miami team just really got their swagger back as they just rolled that it went off of the high stick, I guess. Yeah. Obviously, you can't hold the stick too high and tip it down low into the net. We see that a lot in the NHL as well. Goals get taken off the board all the time. But they will have a neutral zone face-off now.
But even though that goal gets wiped down, that still has to carry something potentially, knowing that you have 2 different goalies playing in this game. You've been able to break through both of them. And even despite the fight back that USF has provided all game long, Miami has very much been in the thick of it. McGuire tries to fight off his man. It's Tyler Stowe. Scramble in the faceoff dot. Walking away goes Mikheyev. Mikheyev takes a check from Owens, and he glues it along the boards. Lets that one loose for Callahan. No goal after the high stick. It remains 5-2 for Miami. Kashikani takes a body before releasing it for Turlik. Wanted to send it, and Callahan, he starts the accelerator. Sheridan has to decide and lets it go around. Owens couldn't keep it in. The alternate captain for this USF side, Tyler Stowe, leaves it. Mikheyev scores! USF on a response. They cut the deficit to 2.
You know, I was just about to say I didn't know how much I liked the thing from Sheridan there to keep the icing from not being called, but he kind of just gets this breakout going. The USF Bulls just find it up the ice, and they just take a shot, kind of catches Hoffman off guard, and they bury it. It is now cut down to a 2-goal lead for the Canes, but a little bit of punchback from the Bulls.
We saw that at the end of the game last night where it was a 2-goal lead for Miami. USF cut it to within 1 and had a chance to tie it. However, Max Hoffman was there the whole way through as that one got sent towards center where it's Caballero on the attack. Caballero deals it around. On a takedown goes Jack Fleer. Koo attempted to poke it out, but he gets bodied off by DeRiso. DeRiso couldn't get it out. Mensimer with the possession. Kept in by USF, but not for long as there were 4 jerseys there for the recollection. It goes right with Kagan. Adam Berg was in a battle with his man, has to come back onside, and now it's a chance for Nate Koo to take over. Nate Koo, one of the players doing triple duty so far, played in both D2 and the D3 game yesterday, back on the D2 roster again as he fights along the boards. Does Koo. Berg had Jusko as well, but it's taken away for Ott. Nolan Ott backhands it. USF trying to stay onside. They do. Walking through. Couldn't get past was Caballero. As a collision into the corners, jars the puck loose. Cowles around behind the net. Mensimer takes care of his man and leaves it to the open man, Nate Koo. 13-13 in the second. Koo takes a heavy hit, and that will be a USF penalty.
Ooh, yeah, just that one got caught behind the boards, behind the play, rather. Koo, I mean, he's just been battered up, played 3 games, and all of a sudden, I mean, dealing with a cross check to the back into the boards. And the good news for the Canes, though, you got your top unit on the ice, and they're going to say that's a major on the Bulls. That was on...
It is interesting to see that one pegged up as a major, but Koo did release the puck, then take the hit. Had a bit of a dangerous angle as well, but for Miami, they've dealt with the major penalty yesterday, and they took advantage of that. We'll see if Lightning strikes twice on 2 separate days as a quick turnover for Fensterstock behind the net, but eventually gets cleared by the Bulls. So it's the 5-minute major for Jack Fleer on the cross-check from behind on Nick Koo. It will allow the 5-minute man advantage for Miami. Jared Fensterstock off the tip-in, delivers that one in for Riker Ferry on the far side, but not before it's cut off by Ott. Ott and Ferry go at it behind the net. Ferry takes a tumble, but Fensterstock chases again. Kept into the point by Stone. Estelin cycles it around. Stone up top. Stone fires. He goes wide. Second whack. Fensterstock couldn't get it through, but Estelin reclaims possession. 45 seconds deep into the major. Stone tries to come in, but Stone, Ferry in front, couldn't get through Sheridan, and it's cleared by USF.
Miami finally set up the power play there. Unable to get anything really going, but got some good passes across.
Sam Stone in the corner, couldn't get past Dietz, but Estelin's got Dietz as he's charging in before he goes into the bench. USF makes some changes. Miami will stick with the same 5. Bank it for Estelin. He's got a lane. Elian Estelin on a pivot. He's got Stone at the point. Stone and Estelin on the far side. Estelin for Stone. He's on the release, but it goes off of a leg and is poked out by Holtberg. Dylan Holtberg in a race with Sam Stone. It's won by Holtberg. Holtberg across and saved by Hoffman.
Yeah, Stone had to skate back fast there. He had a USF Bull right on his tail. I mean, that could have been detrimental for this squad. Still 3 minutes to go left in this power play, but just a great heads-up play by Max Hoffman to make sure that one stayed covered. Looks like he's wheezing a little bit. We know we had that injury yesterday that took him a little bit to get used to back to himself, but nevertheless.
That was also a near 2-minute shift for that top line. That was a minute 53 on the last shift. So it's also interesting to see how Tamamelo dishes out the 2 power play units, considering that that top line was ready to go the full 2 minutes if it wasn't a major. Owen sends it in off of a leg. Turlick reclaims. Turlick on a slip goes around for Callahan. Matt Callahan behind the net has Turlick. Turlick's got Mensimer up top, but goes for Callahan down low. He wanted Turlick, but Turlick wasn't ready for it, so Mensimer has to come back, and some scrapping in the low slot will halt things at 10:39.
Yeah, Ferry and DeBresp kind of got tied up there behind the play. They might take them both to the box, actually, it looks like.
Coincidental roughing minors is going to be for DeBresp and for Owens. It's only a matter of it's a pair of 2s or some 5s. I can't anticipate that being 5s.
The referees, though, doing a great job once again keeping this one contained.
So it looks like they will take the 2 guys for 5s. It could be maybe one of their ways of potentially trying to calm this game down, where if there's extracurriculars after the whistle, they're just going to send them in the box for 5 and just let them simmer down before they continue on the game and not put the penalties on the board, which I find the most interesting thing. You were shaking your head after they didn't put up the penalties on the board. When they signaled 5-on-4, you shook your head. I'm with you there, Connor. I thought that this could have been a 4-on-3. But nonetheless, Miami have the man advantage for another 2:15 with 10:22 in the second. Fensterstock behind the net, tries to get it free, and it does for Elian Estelin. He's got Mensimer at the point. Mensimer for Estelin, back for Mensimer. Mensimer shoots off of Sheridan, rebound in front, no one can push it in as it's taken by Shaliwa. Shaliwa sends it down and out. Kagan couldn't keep it in, so Mensimer races back. Just past the halfway mark of this game as Remy Kagan, the freshman from Wynwood, Pennsylvania, is alongside the junior Mensimer. They're the D pair on this resumption of the power play as it comes back for Estelin. Kagan. Fensterstock back for Kagan. Mensimer. Mensimer works in, takes the shot off of a leg. Ferry couldn't get the tip in, but reclaims possession as it's Mensimer up top. Winds up, and no one can get it through as they hit Mensimer on the leg. Fensterstock in the low slot. Estelin up top. 1:10 to go. Estelin with a shot, and it's swallowed up by Sheridan.
Yeah, I really like what I'm seeing out of this power play unit here. Obviously, Kagan, the freshman, making a lot of good plays, deking the pass out to Estelin, and Estelin just takes a good quality hard shot and tries to get some loose change from Sheridan, but unable to do so. But either way, good productive shift there.
Still no change for Tamamelo. He only changed the 2 D-men. It's Sudeikis and Stone with the Estelin, Ferry, and Fensterstock line. Fensterstock backhands it for Ferry. He's all alone behind the net and leaving it for Fensterstock. 4 guys up top. Sudeikis with a blast. Ferry with a rebound. Still loose. Couldn't get it through. Ferry on a short angle. Couldn't get it past Cook. It's down, not out. Held in by Stone. Right through the 5-hole of Sudeikis and down the length. Elian Estelin walks in on a twirl with Sudeikis. Elects for Fensterstock instead. 20 seconds to go on the 5-minute major. Fensterstock from distance, but couldn't hit. That was Evan Sudeikis, rather, as he chases back. Sudeikis getting pestered by Cook, but he's got Elian Estelin in the final 5 seconds of the power play for Miami. They're unable to convert on the 5-minute major. Sam Stone for Fensterstock. Walks past one and gets past another. Jared Fensterstock. We're back to even strength. Comes across. No one able to connect. Stone from range. Misses the net, but Estelin keeps it in for Fensterstock. Estelin wanted to push it ahead, but a couple of green jerseys instead as Uhrig pops a tire, and it gets left behind for Doriso. Doriso waits. Wholesale change for the Bulls. Escalating couldn't get it out, so it's pushed around. Miami weren't ready for the USF Bulls, who were deep in the zone, as they thought that was going to be outside of the blue line. They were wrong, so Stone has to come back. Miami makes a few changes. Across it goes, cut off by Zadakis. Fresh bodies on the ice for Miami. Stretch pass intended for Berg. And that is going to be called an icing, even though Adam Berg was very clearly in front of the play. And the one official is telling the linesman to bring that one to center immediately.
Also, Sheridan also came out to play that puck as well. Berg and Sheridan both playing that puck, so they will put this one at center ice as a kind of a treaty, I guess you could say, with some 16 left to go in the second period.
Already 8 goals in this game, 6 of them coming in the first period.
Some more board issues here at Kendall Ice Arena.
In a 5-3 game between Miami and South Florida. Miami wins the draw again with McGuire banking it in deep. And that one is a definitive icing as McGuire failed to clear the red line. So the first icing wasn't, but the second icing most certainly was. So we'll be back in the Miami end.
Tough break for Miami there, but they will have to play defense here.
In USF, they're going to have a heavy workload, not just today, but throughout, as they have 10 more games before New Year's. And having such a heavy workload in the front end of the schedule is not something you typically see in college hockey, but USF, they are going to take the task and be ready for it, as they're in the second of a back-to-back against Miami, the second of 4 consecutive on the road before they head to Lakeland against Florida Southern. Jack Fleer leaves it. Try from distance, gets swatted down on the follow-through by Cavallero. Near side, Hoffman with a poke out, and just goal lets that one float past the blue line. Miami gets some fresh bodies on the ice as McGuire carries it back. Kashikani with a bouncer, back to center, and USF will just retreat to prevent offsides. Partial flub there as Turlik was unable to get the reach. So it's a try from an angle. Hoffman dives out, and that time Kashikani was there for the intervention. Doesn't want Hoffman to be hit on the dive like he did yesterday, but nonetheless it's covered up.
Yeah, you were talking about earlier, though, the fact that this USF Bowl team has 10 games for the new year. We don't mention a lot in these broadcasts, but these are normal college students. This is a lot for these guys. And you kind of just got to tip your cap to these guys for hanging in there and really just playing their hardest. It's just a good thing to see for the sport.
Into the corner. USF on a near try, but it's held off by Hoffman, and Matt Callahan turns it around. Only one back is Dustin Holtberg, but he carries it around. Swings it for Offenbach. Takes it for Turlik. And that is going to be an icing very clearly against Turlik, as he was not at the red.
USF will have a chance
but
to reset here in the offensive zone.
But with this Miami side, some of these long shifts have at times bitten them in the butt, because sometimes they go for a change but they're not able to, as USF goes wide on that attempt. And we already mentioned how the Miami bench is already shorter than it has been for most games because of the doubleheader. And now it's a chance for Jake Turlik. He turns on the gas. Turlik passes from behind, gets the shot off, and Sheridan's with the save.
Turlik was looking for a call as he got dragged down. He kind of got played with. And now there will be a call for cross-checking. I think that one's going to go against USF. I think they're going to get... see what happened here. Yeah, we kind of see Turlik get wrapped around, and then it happened behind the play, but you kind of see a cross-checking right there. And with that, with 5:13 left to go, the Canes will head on the power play with a opportunity to take a 3-goal lead.
0 for 3 are Miami so far, as Nolan Ott, the freshman from Columbus, will take a squat, who's played in all 10 games, but has to sit for 2, as Miami will try to convert on their 4th try of the day. Yesterday, Miami was 1 for 4 in the power play, as that one is palmed down by Zadakis, but couldn't keep it in, so it's Escalating. Couldn't get enough on that, so it's Mikiev. Mikiev for Stowe, in front, beautiful save by Max Hoffman off of the strip from USF. Now it's a chance for Fensterstock in reversal. Fensterstock and Zadakis go back and forth as Estelin makes way for the point. Fensterstock has Zadakis. Zadakis from a distance try. Ferry got the tip but down. Fensterstock again with Zadakis. 1:20 to go in the power play for Miami. Behind the net, only one there is Deraspe. Stone keeps it in. Fensterstock hacks at it. Ferry back for Fensterstock. Wanted to go across for Estelin, but hit a barricade on the way. And eventually it's cleared by USF as they hold on and shoot it down.
And talk about an absolute beautiful save there by Hoffman, though, keeping this a 2-goal lead.
Zadakis turns the engines on as he's on the near side. Zadakis goes across. Fensterstock alone on the far side. Fensterstock looks for space, looks for a man. It's a line Estelin. He's got Zadakis. Zadakis wanted Fensterstock. Loose puck in the slots. It's Estelin again. 30 seconds to go on the man advantage. Estelin comes in, fires, rebound loose. Zadakis is there and keeps it in play. Estelin, Zadakis, Stone. Stone and Zadakis on the blue line. They got Estelin alongside as Zadakis sends that one wide. And it's sent down by USF for Hoffman.
Good pressure as this power play is just about to expire. That top power play line showing why they are so strong, but unable to connect with anything as the penalty expires.
Back to 5 aside as that one sent down. And you mentioned right at the last little shift there how Hoffman has been so strong, and he had to shorthanded.
Yeah, no, we see here that the Bulls just kind of come out on the shorthanded attempt, kind of, get around the defenders, and then all of a sudden the Hoffman has to stretch his far pad out all the way across the net and makes a play.
Off of the draw, shot attempted, goes off of a body as Caballero was on the release. Bodies hit the ice. Puck glued along the boards. Arm is up on the official, and it's only a matter of who is going to take it.
It's going to be, I think it's going to be Asul in there. Taken, I think they're going to get in for a cross check.
So it's going to be a check from behind on Estelin's, what the signal was. So this will provide USF an opportunity, a man up.
Seen lots of those today with the checks in from behind and the cross checks overall. But once again, this referee crew, kind of saying no to everything, blowing the whistles, making sure this one stays clean.
Must have saw what happened last night, and maybe it's a point of emphasis for today, some of the hits from behind. But USF will take it off of the draw. Across it goes for Caballero. He goes across the line for Welch. Caballero and Welch has Dietz wanted to cross for Caballero, but that's a strikeout for him and swung down by Miami.
What a play by Owens there to get the stick in the lane, disrupting that coast-to-coast pass.
20 seconds burned off of the power play for USF as Dietz leaves it behind. He's got Cook incoming. Caballero from a wide angle couldn't get past McGuire, and he says goodbye to that one.
Yeah, McGuire, Owens just flexing their penalty-killing muscles here.
Fresh bodies for Miami. Dietz has to pivot, but now it's a chance as they enter with Offenbach.
Very good penalty kill for the Canes so far. We saw Turlick get some actions deep into the offensive zone for the Canes, but overall, really like what I'm seeing. Still a minute 3 left to go in this penalty kill. We will see what they will be able to do.
It's a stalemate on the face-off. Eventually Miami get it up, but not out as it's held in by Stowe. Stowe goes across for Mikiev. Makiev's got another 50 to work with as he goes into the corner. Back to the blue line, taken, took a deflection, missed the net. Makiev couldn't get past Stone as he sends that one down. And that will actually be a USF penalty for unsportsmanlike. So this will bring things to 4-on-4 for 35 with some carryover after the penalty will expire for Escalating.
Yeah, it looks like just some words maybe exchanged there that we couldn't quite hear, but obviously the official heard it. I believe that official's there from last night, so I think he's about done with these two squads chirping at each other. But either way, the Canes will have an offensive zone draw.
So Danila Makiev will go in for unsportsmanlike conduct with Estulin still in the box for another 35. And they're actually going to take the unsportsmanlike and actually make it a 5. So we've seen this happen a lot. Some of those after the whistle plays, they'll just sit the player down for 5 minutes, but let the resumption of play occur and just take the one player off. It's an interesting wrinkle that we've seen a lot here, but I guess if they let everything go straight to the 2 minutes, then we'd be seeing a lot of 3-on-3s, 4-on-3s, and they want to give as many of these guys chances as possible, as Tom Amello is trying to get an explanation on why it's not 4-a-side after it was initially flashed up on the board. But you did mention it, Connor. It is a relatively different officiating crew. It's not the same foursome, but there are a couple of the guys who are in stripes today who were here yesterday. But Estulin will still be in for another 35 seconds. So once that clock expires, there'll be 50 seconds in the period. Face-off won by Fensterstock, but picked off by Shaliwa. Nolan Ott goes across for Roseo. Roseo on a pivot, wants to go in front, cannot hit Ott. And it's swung out of the zone by Fensterstock. Raymond Owens and Fensterstock have been so aggressive up top. They try to go aggressive again. Across it goes for Ott as he waits for his numbers. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Quick swing from Roseo goes wide. And that is sent down, and that is it for the man advantage for USF. With 45 seconds to go in the period. Miami up by 2. Owens swipes that one in the offensive end. Jarrett Fensterstock, the only one to pick it up. Fensterstock across, but couldn't connect with Jusko. Sam Stone back, final half a minute. Jusko leaves it for Fensterstock, and Jusko will just retreat. Miami might be happy just eating these final seconds off. Looks like they're not even going for the offensive chance. They might just be trying to let these final 16 seconds expire.
They got to be careful here. 13 seconds.
Trying to hold on to a 2-goal lead. Sholiwa takes the stick off the ceiling, out of play. 8 to go in the second. 2-goal lead for Miami.
Yeah, with 8 seconds left in this period, though, I mean, I would say this has been another terrific period for the Hurricanes, just really getting into themselves again. You can see they're really getting that swagger back. I mean, they're really picking up where they got last year with the rough stuff this year, but really like what I'm seeing overall. We'll see if they can finish it later into this third period as we get into that.
Big aura from the University of Miami Hurricanes as they try to finish off the last 20 minutes and 8 seconds. A lot of aura coming around in South Florida. As that is sent down the length of the ice, USF cannot re-enter, and that'll do it for the second period of play. And the vibes are very high amongst the University of Miami Hurricanes faithful, whether that be coming off of the win last night, trying to rally up the over-under of goals versus touchdowns in that Louisville game early in the afternoon. The energy is very much high for this University of Miami Hurricanes team, and they've carried a lot of momentum in 40 minutes of play. It's only a matter of whether they can close out that final 20.
Yeah, no, once again, they will just have to probably play a more conservative third period, not let any get pucks too quick behind them or anything like that. But no, once again, I mean, their star players are starring, I would say. I mean, they're really coming out, playing a statement, making a statement rather, and just showing why they could be a force at the Division II level.
And we saw in the D3 game yesterday, they went conservative after being tied after 2 periods, and they eventually lost that game by 4 periods, did the D3 team yesterday. When you have kind of the momentum on your side and you know things are buzzing, how do you prevent that kind of foot off the gas and that window of opportunity for the other team to barge in?
Well, I think you really just got to eliminate the turnovers. You got to eliminate any room for error, I would say, which they've done pretty well in this USF series overall, but throughout the year they haven't done terrific at that, but I've really liked what I've seen so far.
It's not a matter of how you start, but how you finish. But for University of Miami, they've started hot. It's a matter of if they can finish the same way as well. 5-3 after 2 periods of play. We start the third after the break.
Softer, but other than that, it's just an ice rink, so it's all the same.
Anything different between the competition here and there?
No, so when I was at Tennessee last year, we played in the same league as this, so I've played a lot of these teams. It's all kind of the same. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll be back with the third period.
Thank you.
Connor Stein, and it's been a really eventful 40 minutes so far, to say the least. But of what has gone well for this side, especially considering the slow start that they've had, coming off of 5 consecutive losses going into the weekend and trying to go for back-to-back the first time this season, what has kind of been turned around from the first set of 7 games to what's happened this coming weekend?
Well, I would say that overall that first line, right? I mean, for the most of that 5 or 6 game span where they played that UCF series and then that Lynn series and then the FAU series, obviously, you know, they kind of, both those teams kind of shut down that top line defensively, to be quite honest. But now they've kind of just exploded. And this UCU Division II level, I mean, this is just a great thing to see for this program. A quick turnaround. We will see if they'll be able to correct that record, because right now it's not looking too great. But, I mean, all signs are pointing in the right direction for this team in this season.
University of Miami, 18 goals in their first 7 games. They have 10 between yesterday and today. Escalating, Ferry, and Fensterstock to start things off, as Miami's again in the white from right to left. USF in the green from left to right, as Ferry tries to jar that one loose from the man. That's Owen Welch, and it's offsides right out of the gate. Every single time they stepped on the ice so far, and they've been expected to carry a heavy load, as the defense will have to off the turnover. Across, settles, fire, scores! USF cut the lead to 1. 18 seconds into the period, Grant Dietz gets it to go.
Man, Dietz, once again, that talented freshman, just showing how strong he is offensively. We really see here, he gets his pass from his teammate, the cross pass, calls for the puck, and then just rips it, pops the bottle on Hoffman. And just like that's a 1-goal game with 19:42 left to go. And now you're asking yourself, do you play more aggressive?
Grant Dietz, the freshman from Batavia, Illinois, has 17 points, now 18, with 10 of those coming from the power play. That's only his 8th point at even strength for the freshman Dietz, as it gets circled back after the stoppage in play in the USF end of the ice, and it will be a face-off for the Canes only 30 seconds into this third period. Jusko couldn't get it free as it makes its way into the corner. Brandonstein tried to get it clear, but not before it's collected again by Dietz. Dietz, so fast, so elusive. Not a big guy, only at 5'9", 165, but he darts in again, sends that one towards net. But it hit an obstacle along the way as Dietz reclaims. Back to the point, slapper goes, hits a body into the corner. Stepping in is Welch. Around the boards, Dietz tries to get past his man Berg, and Dietz gets pinned along the boards. And Dietz took an awkward collision into the boards as he was double teamed on the wall as he hit the deck as soon as that contact was made.
Yeah, but I know you were talking about Dietz just being one of those impactful players. I mean, having this many points as a freshman at this level is just remarkable. I mean, talk about a guy that's just doing everything for this USF squad, just really showing how much of a playmaker he is.
Averaging close to 2 goals a game, just shy of that mark, but nonetheless,
that is ridiculous for this level.
He's able to be productive when it matters, but now Raymond Owens trying to return the favor. Owens into the corner, puck along his skates. Turlick can't get it free as it makes its way behind the net of Sheridan. Dylan Cowles gets along the blue line and out as Metzimer tries to step up to keep it in. Owens settles it as he's got Callahan at the red line. No icing as it's dumped down behind Sheridan's net. Only one there is DeRiso. DeRiso sends it upwards where it is going to be Fleer alongside Cavallaro. Cavallaro wanted Fleer in front, but they couldn't find each other. Eventually Miami gets it out of the zone, but it's held in by Jake Turlick on the Miami possession. Turlick cuts across with a shot. He missed the net. A 1-goal game, the try from distance into the glove of Sheridan again. And now University of Miami trying to answer back after USF cuts it within 1.
Yeah, I would say it's a very important need of this program right now. I mean, you got to find a way to respond. 1 goal is simply not enough against this USF squad.
Ferry taking the draw to Sheridan's right. It gets sent around by Ott, and he's only got one man there. That's Tyler Stowe. But Fensterstock trying to wiggle it free as it couldn't go for Ferry, so now it's a chance for Cloea. Cloea goes from a long angle. Second try goes. Hoffman, loose puck in the slot. Couldn't get poked home. Third chance goes, and they score. We're tied. It's 5-5. Two goals in the first 2.5 minutes of the period, and Tyler Stowe equalizes at 5-a-side.
Yeah, Stowe really making the Canes pay here. Just getting around defenders, making sure, getting quality shots. Once again, that talented freshman, really the reason why this puck even goes in the back of the net. Once again, just causing problems, and Stowe ties this one up just like that, and that is not how you wanted to start this period at all if you're the Hurricanes.
That's goals in 3 consecutive games for Tyler Stowe as he scored versus UCF, got an assist, and goals in back-to-back as that one gets deflected wide. Escalating tries to get it free as he's got Fensterstock. A brand new game here at Kendall Ice Arena. It was 5-3 at the intermission. It's 5-5 already as Ferry collects it, enters the blue line. Ferry gets past one, takes a shot as it goes off the bar, up, out, after it pings the pipe.
Once again, that top line of Miami causing problems for USF, but not enough to cause a goal. But as I was saying, though, just not what you want to start for this third period. Allowing 2 goals in the span of 4 minutes, I mean, not great.
Canes take it back. Mensimer banks it around. He's got Jusko behind the net. Jusko takes the blue line, sends it across with Koo. Couldn't get it through. Second chance goes. Berg denied. Kept in play. Jusko. He's got Berg. Berg couldn't corral. A chance along the wall. It's Ureg. Working on Mensimer. Ureg hits the glass and around. Tyler Cook at center. Couple of white jerseys charging in. Ureg wanted to slide it across for Shai Haley, but they're offside.
This neutral zone face-off, or the center ice face-off rather, for both the Canes and the Knights. They decided to make a change here. Really got us change the tides of this USF with all of the momentum now. That's not what you wanted to do with this talented roster.
Face-off won by the Bulls. They enter. They attempt it, but it's well wide. Back again for Tyler Cook. He goes from a wide angle as Max Hoffman watches that one across his face. Wanted to feed to the slot. No deflection available, so it's into the corner for Holtberg. Holtberg slammed to the wall. Chipped up and out by Miami. And Turlick comes in. The glass is loose. The glass is loose after Turlick took a huge hit along the wall with Urig, and this is going to take some helping hands.
And some more Miami issues. Some more Kendall Ice Arena issues, rather. They're going to try to, oh, jeez.
So as we see, everyone is going to take a group effort with the pane of glass coming out. We saw the Zamboni door get jarred loose. We've seen a guy fall because the penalty box swung open. And now we have to replace the pane of glass as well. That doesn't even include some of the things that happened in yesterday's game, whether that be the puck flying over the mesh, the roof taking a couple of skid marks as well. And the glass is actually getting tangled up into the netting.
This is madness, man. This is crazy.
As they continue to try to work on this, everyone's going to have to come into play now. Some of the supporters here, some of the players trying to use their stick to maneuver the mesh.
I'm not going to lie, that stick is not doing anything to help them right now. This is not great. They need someone, I feel like they need someone on the ice, like without a, like with helping hands, not like with the stick, because it's just a hard situation. They might have to. Yeah, that's what I think is a smart play. I feel like some of the Miami guys should be helping this. There's not really much you can do.
Some of the on-ice staff making their way as they're trying to figure out how to carry on without a whole pane of glass.
We might need some Kendall Ice Arena staff here, to be honest with you. This is like a rink issue, I would say, so.
And they have to play another game on this exact rink immediately after this. We mentioned some of the compilation of issues that Kendall Ice Arena has had over the last 2 years.
They're getting pictures with the kids. Oh my goodness.
Some of the friends and family traveling through.
Maybe get some autographs to the window as well, maybe? I don't know, jeez. Yeah, I
so
think
one
that's
of the big issues is with the mesh, kind of the tightrope of the mesh kind of struggling to get some slack there. And now they brought out a ladder from the maintenance crew, and they're going to try to use that to maybe try to maneuver this thing around. And with just under 16 minutes left to go, this is going to take a whole group effort.
Man, if this game already didn't take a little bit longer than expected, this is going to add about probably a 5 to 10 minute delay. So if they can get it back on the thing, all I'm saying is at least the glass didn't shatter. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
Right, because then you're looking at multiple cancellations of the games, right? So, I mean, we're lucky that this one even ended up. But this is definitely the right way to do it, though. Unhook that net. And I can't believe I'm commentating glass being put on back onto boards, but, you know.
I mean, at least it's not like the glass that you would see in maybe the mid to late 2000s. They changed to kind of this plexiglass, polycarbonate type of glass right around the 2010s. So, because in the 2000s, you had so many instances of guys just taking slap shots. They hit the window, and it just straight up shatters. So because of some of the overall evolution of the technology of the glass, this kind of polycarbonate glass plastic hybrid they have, it reduces shattering, which is for the better as they finally slide it in, and now they get a chance to replace the mesh. And now we can carry on after some assistance from the ice crew, and one of the members of the ice crew is actually on the opposite end of the ice, so he races to the corner board so that he can take his
I just want to give a shout
exit stage left.
I believe that was
it was definitely Turlick who was on the receiving end. That much I know for sure.
No, there was a Miami Hurricane helping in that effort there. It was Hartung there. Miles Hartung, the senior. He's got the bleach buzz. He was one of the core members of getting that fixed back up. So, you know, good on him, you know. What a great thing to see. He's been hurt for a little bit, but he's playing on that D3 roster now, and we will see him later tonight, obviously.
But good to see that despite some of the elevated tensions in this game, everyone is still able to come along in good sportsmanship when it's all said and done for a common goal, in this case, restoring the glass so that we can resume play, as one of the officials was trying to adjust some of his equipment, trying to use the timeout to its advantage as we restart things with 15:45 to go in the third in a 5-5 game. Pass to the near side for Duhame. Duhame tries to let that one go. It hits a body in front.
USF Bull without a stick now. It's a little 5-on-4.
Duhame races back and just gets a clean twig as Mensimer couldn't get it loose, and it's Owens who eventually does. Mensimer return feed from Owens, and that one gets elevated. Jake Turlick, the lone one there. Turlick's got space, fires, he goes wide. Mensimer steps up so he can keep it in play. The captain of the squad rings it around as he looks for a man on that far side. That's Callahan, but Welch is in the cluster too. Callahan, Welch, Turlick in the mix, as well as John Cooper, and eventually Matt Callahan is the only one to take it out. Callahan swipes it for Turlick, who gets bodied off. Chance to enter for Offenbach, but offside are the USF Bulls.
I really got to say, though, this series has had really anything you wanted. You have the broken glass, the comeback in this third period by the Bulls. It's just going to be a really, really fun finish here at Kendall Ice Arena. I wouldn't go anywhere if I was a viewer right now, as that top unit for the Canes comes out and steps on the ice, that Ferry, Asulin, and Festerstock line.
Regardless of the result, the only thing that I personally think would deflate this is if it ends in a tie, even after a 5-minute overtime. That's the only thing that could deflate this at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, we're not playing soccer.
We got to get to overtime first.
Assuming anyone gets a game winner, the next 14.5, either the Bulls or the Canes. Loose puck in front, backhand. Holtberg couldn't get it through. And now
Hoffman's crease, but no harm done to the Canes. They will now have an offensive draw.
Face-off won by the Canes. Broken stick by Fensterstock. And now it's a chance for Kevin Roseo. Roseo takes a shot. That one sputters wide. Into the corner for Cavallero. Estelin pokes it along the wall, but not out. Jack Fleer rings it around. He's got Cavallero behind the net. Cavallero meets McGuire, and it comes up top. Quick shot goes well wide for Dustin Holtberg. Cavallero wanted Fleer up in front, but couldn't connect. Holtberg with a swipe at it, and it goes wide. Hoffman trying to get back in play as he takes the deflection off of the shot. Holtberg steps in and is taken away by Kyle McGuire. McGuire for Estelin, but Estelin couldn't get it through as it's knocked down by Ferry, and he's got Adam Berg with him. Berg going at it with Ott. And eventually Ott and the Bulls are the ones to claim possession with 13-13 in the third. Miami with some fresh bodies. Zadakis jars it loose from Chaliwa, who potentially had a free run at the net. And it's Stone behind with Zadakis. Chaliwa can't get it through, so it's Stone to slip it through, and he's got Adam Berg. Berg enters, fires off of a body and to the corner. Jusko off the bench in support. Reinforcements for the Canes. Couldn't get it through for Zadakis, and now it's a chance for transition. Potential 4-on-3 for the Bulls, as that shot didn't even hit an obstacle. That one just went straight into the top mesh and out.
Yeah, the Canes had a little bit of mixed match of lines there. They had Berman on the ice with that Riker and Asulin line, and then soon after, Jusko came on the ice, so it was a little bit frantic there for a second, but the Canes were able to calm it down. Now for an offensive draw for the Ice Bulls.
Face-off coming to Hoffman's right, as Owens couldn't get it behind Stowe, as that chance from the blue line goes into the corner where Turlik takes it. Turlik works on Koliwa, and no one can get it free. There's Stowe in the mix. Koliwa going shoulder to shoulder with Owens, and eventually it's Remy Kagan. Kagan's got Callahan. Turlik in front. Callahan wheeling and dealing. He pops the tire, but continues the cycle with Owens for Callahan. Callahan around, back up. Kagan can't keep it in. Koliwa. Another collision along the near boards as Turlik eventually gets it away. Bryson Uhrig hit Mensimer on the follow through. In front, and that one's poked away by Kagan into the corner as there was a wide open man in the slot. Glove down by Daraspe. Sends it towards net, but only Mensimer is there. Mensimer around, trying to hit Fensterstock, but it goes for Cook instead. Estelin reverses for Turlik. And eventually Line Estelin able to pick it up and springboards for Fensterstock. Fensterstock there first, no icing. Estelin, a bodyguard there as McGuire takes a bump. And it's a 2-on-1 opportunity for the Bulls as it's Haley. Haley gets past one, gets past another as Hoffman makes a save.
Great defense there by Festerstock, keeping that so he couldn't pass it across.
Kept in play. Daraspe delivers it wide. And it will be out of play as there will be a stoppage in play after the net comes off of its post. But USF with some offensive zone time, making the most of it.
Yeah, no, for sure. We see here they just pressure hard with this 2-on-1 opportunity. And once again, I want to shout out Festerstock by getting a stick in the lane and making sure nothing bad were to happen with that cross feed.
Festerstock flutters this one in where it is going to be corralled by Duhame. Behind him is Cooper, and Cooper can't get it around Ferry. Ferry and Cooper whack away at it, and it's Elian Estulin all alone in the corner. Zadakis at the blue line, sends that one through, kicked away by Sheridan. So Ferry at the wide angle, tried to go off the mask and in, but couldn't.
This is the guy USF wants on the ice.
Grant Dietz. He scored the 4th goal to make it a 1-goal game. Near side it goes, attempted to tuck in. Hoffman with a save, rebound into the glove of Max Hoffman. Oh, how did that stay out as we just crossed the halfway mark of the 3rd?
Man, talk about Max Hoffman really keeping the Canes tied in this one. That talented freshman once again getting the puck across, and then a little tic-tac-toe, and it somehow stays out of the net as Max Hoffman gloves it. And this one remains 5-5 with just under 10 minutes to go in this 3rd period.
On the sprawl, Max Hoffman gets the glove up and covers it up as officials reset the net again because of not this play that just got whistled dead, but the one prior to that. And the Bulls can't get it free, but it is Adam Berg. He's all alone. Welch making back, and Berg takes a shot off of the glove in and out of Sheridan. Berg attempted to collect the rebound, but it's sent down by Stone and is poked free. Zadakis gets a stick on it. Is Dietz on Zadakis. Dietz shoots off the post and out. Rebound flutters in, and Dietz has 2 to give USF their first lead of the game.
I'm telling you, man, this kid's a problem. Once again, causing pains for this Miami roster. We see he gets in behind the play. They do a great job breaking out, and then all of a sudden, it's a breakaway opportunity, and he just buries it off the. It actually goes off the post and finds its way. I think that went off of Hoffman's back leg and found its way into the back of the net. But now it is 6-5.
It's the first USF lead of the day.
Now talk about that though. I mean, the Hurricanes were up 5-3. Now they do 3 straight unanswered, and all of a sudden you're in a 1-goal hole.
Sent towards net, wide of Hoffman's net. Behind the net, Jake Turlick takes the loose puck. Turlick has Owens and Callahan with him as Turlick goes crisscross. He sends that one wide. Callahan around for Turlick, lets that one go as Owens is on the chase with Doriso. Doriso and Turlick going at it behind the net as Callahan steps in, as does Owens. Tyler Cook goes across, but the only one able to get to the puck is Remy Kagan, and he's got Jake Turlick. Mensimer bumps his man off the puck so it can be taken by Owens. And a chance for Jake Turlick. As we've seen Turlick take the bump numerous times, including the hit that jarred the glass loose. And now it's a chance for Cavallero. On that near side where Cavallero circles around the offensive end. Miami makes a couple of changes as they have a man open as Ott. Ott off the glove of Hoffman, and second chance leads to a broken stick. Bank it up and out. Only one there is Ott, and he sends it into the Miami end. A flub there allows Fensterstock to enter with Ferry. Fensterstock with a shot, saved by Sheridan. No one able to collect the rebound.
The Canes needed more of a supporting cast there.
Escalating on the forecheck with a turnover. A chance in front. Ferry with a swing and a miss. Rebound, Festerstock. Saves Sheridan. Sheridan again. And Escalating couldn't get the putback for a potential tie. McGuire at the blue line. He's got Escalating with him. Kashikani keeps this one in. But not for long as it's banked out by Holtberg. And Jarrett Fensterstock has to come back with 7 1/4 in the third. 6-5 for USF. First lead of the game as the wide angle try goes stick on stick into the corner. Tyler Stowe can't get it loose because he's got a man on him. Backhanded across into the corner, and it's only there for Mikheyev. Loose in front, and it gets swallowed up by Max Hoffman again.
Man, Miami's just really got to regain control of this game. They've really just let it get away from them. Up 2 goals at one point. Now, we will see if they will be able to take this one back. But, I mean, they had their chances in the offensive zone, but unable to make anything of it because of lack of supporting cast.
It also helps that when those rebounds are loose, no one's ready to poke that one home.
Exactly.
Just nothing they can do about it. Just doesn't hit the mark that they want to. But it's a matter of sooner or later, as that one is shot into the glove of Sheridan after it's whacked in by Berg.
That was one of those opportunities that looked harmless at the beginning, and then all of a sudden that all you need is the right bounce, right? And Berg just took full advantage of that bounce and decided, let's just try my best here. And it was a quick glove there by Sheridan.
Adam Berg, the junior from Scottsdale, joined in the second semester last year in January as his line is out. Brandon Stein couldn't get the loose puck, and now it's a chance for Bryson Uhrig. Works on Zadakis. Uhrig with a shot, and Hoffman covers up.
No, just some back and forth banter we see more here in this third period. But, I mean, you got 6 minutes to go. The question may become now, you just got to go full gas pedal if I'm Miami here, right? I mean, not much time left to go. I wouldn't panic quite yet, but, I mean, you're going to have to start questioning when you're going to take Hoffman out of the net potentially.
USF work behind the net. Across it goes. Loose puck is somehow got a clip off by Hoffman and stays out of the net.
I think that one barely clipped off of Hoffman's stick and it stayed out.
Raymond Owens behind the play. Bank it for Callahan. Callahan wanted Turlick, but they were looking opposite directions. Owens, the beneficiary of a loose puck from a USF pass that went awry. Now it's a chance for Turlick. Has Callahan in front, but couldn't corral. A chance for Uhrig. He works on Kagan, and Kagan with a poke check. Works in the corner, and Hoffman's net is loose after a crash towards the net with Mikheyev in a scrap with Mensimer.
That was a great poke check there by Kagan. Remy Kagan, the freshman, standing up and making a terrific poke check to get rid of any kind of offensive presence that the USF Bulls had. Now, I know the net did come off, but either way, that prevented a massive opportunity for the Bulls.
Couple of the wingers encroaching, so the one official backs them up, and then eventually the second warning comes in, so they're both tossed. But 5.5 minutes to go. Face-off is to Hoffman's right as that one gets slapped on net, kicked away by Hoffman. Rebound, Spinorama try, third chance, gets kicked out by some of the guys in white. Along the point it goes for Welch. He sends that one in. Max Hoffman gets the second and third save on that last little cycle through, as there were at least 3 chances there, and Hoffman was up to the task all the way through.
We didn't talk about that. Also, he did that all without a stick, too. His stick was against the far boards there in that far corner, but it does look like he's aching a little bit. I mean, he's kind of bending over. His body language isn't portraying that he's doing okay, but, I mean, so far he's really held his own. Had to take a lot of shots today and yesterday also.
Ferry on the draw after Escalating gets tossed, so it comes to the far side with Jarrett Fensterstock. Fensterstock hits one of the guys on the USF bench.
Yeah, that
Even though the rule might have changed in the NHL, it hasn't made its way to College Hockey South, where sitting on the boards doesn't necessarily fly the same way. Well, I guess Noah's leg is encroaching over the ice, so I guess that's why they let it through.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that wouldn't fly in the NHL, but here we are in CHS College Hockey, so difference are made.
But regardless, drop the puck at center ice and carry forward. It's going to be Sam Stone trying to come in. He was drowning in the sea of green as that one banks off of the window and down.
He just had no help there. I mean, all of the forwards were basically on the blue line, nowhere to go with that puck.
Owen Welch wants to go up for Grant Dietz, and Dietz still gets the handle. Not for long because he had 2 white jerseys on him, and one of those is Ray Owens, who comes in, takes a shot from distance, saved by Sheridan, loose puck in front. Metzimer walks in, fires, double deflection goes wide. Berg on a swipe, and Sheridan with a cover-up.
Once again, the number one reason why Hurricane couldn't get on that is just the presence of green jerseys right in front of the net. They had 3 green sweaters compared to the Miami 1. So not able to get a stick on that rebound, but the Canes will maintain offensive presence in the offensive zone.
We're just under 5 to go in the third period. Miami down by 1 as it's Kagan trying to chase back before Fleer can get there. DeRiso sends it upward for Fleer. Fleer into the corner, cut off by Kagan. Callahan alongside him. Now it's a chance for Lion Escalating, a potential 2-on-1 with Turlick. Escalating waits across Turlick, across the goal line and not in. How did that stay out? Metzimer with a follow-up. Escalating couldn't get the third poke in. Kagan keeps it alive as Callahan in the high slot. Shot saved by Sheridan. No follow-up available as there's just the whole jumble of bodies and no one could quite get it cleanly, but Metzimer has to just hang on as his man was offside. Estelin wanted to get it across for Callahan in the low slot, but it went off a stick, so it's out of play.
I gotta say, I really actually, now I see it now, I really like the goalie change. I mean, he only allowed that 1 goal earlier in the period. Sheridan, though, just shutting down that top line of the Hurricanes, having none of it. And it is showing that improving well for them here. But the Hurricanes got to get one past them.
Connor Sheridan, the sophomore from Oldsmar, has only played in 15 games between his 2 seasons with the USF Bulls. Making his 6th start today, has not had a regulation loss in the season, as it's a chance for USF to double down as it goes across, but a quick little slippage there by Mikheyev with 3 minutes to go in the third. No one there for Fensterstock, and it's Stone with him. Wants Ferry into the skates of Stone, and now it's Sam Stone with Ferry. Stone gets through. Ferry with a follow-up. Rebound loose, and it's cleared down and icing against the Bulls.
Once again, a tremendous save there by Sheridan. I mean, this kid is putting them in the game. Miami is just providing the quality opportunities, but Sheridan's just shutting them down as this top line for the Hurricanes steps back on the ice. I think Coach Tom knows that this is crunch time, right? I mean, 2:46, now you might be looking at your goaltender, right? Max Hoffman, he's getting a quick shot, but once again, I feel as though almost he should have held that puck and waited for some help so they could maintain some of that offensive presence in that offensive zone, but now the Hurricanes look like they're going to take a timeout with 2:24 left to go.
So it is a Miami Hurricanes timeout with 2:24 to go in the third period. As we go through how we got to this point in the first place, it all started off 18 seconds into the game. Riker Ferry on a 2-on-1 with Elian Estelin. And then USF was able to respond 96 seconds into the game off of the stick of Grant Dietz. Miami would eventually get the puck back after Jarrett Fensterstock would get a 2-on-1 of his own with the setup from Elian Estelin. And then the lead would continue to pile up for the Miami Hurricanes as eventually Duhaime did get a goal, but not before goals by Jusko and Ferry would wrap up the first period by a score of 4-2. And then it was 1 goal aside in the second period, as it was Owens to start things off. But Makiev got the response. Those were both within the first 6 minutes of the second period. And the third period has been all USF, with Grant Dietz scoring twice and another goal by Tyler Stowe.
I would kind of say that the Hurricanes won the first 2 periods, but going into this third period, I mean, USF just kind of flipped the switch and just completely controlled this. And it's showing on the ice.
Hoffman still in the net as Mensimer keeps it in for Fensterstock. Clipped down and hits the top of the glass, so it will be a face-off back in the USF end. And with 2 1/4, the big question is, when do you send Hoffman to the bench?
I don't know. I mean, he's not even really leaning out the crease too much. He's kind of just lounging at the goalpost right now. Camera's not quite picking it up, but just to describe
Mensimer winds up, hits a body. Second chance on the follow-through, continues on. Mensimer keeps it in play as he cycles it through for Fensterstock. Behind the net, he's got Ferry. Astelin in support. Astelin up top with Kagan. Hoffman creeping up as Mensimer has to play it back at center as it sputtered across the blue line. Kagan and Mensimer go back and forth. We're under 2 minutes to go. Astelin with a poke up.
Hoffman's thinking about it.
Sheridan's out of his net. Got to fight with Doriso. 2 Canes, 2 Bowls. No one able to get it free. Zadakis on the near side as Hoffman creeps towards the net but hasn't committed. Final 90 seconds to go. A collision with Mensimer and Dietz at center. And that will be a stoppage in play as that one got sent in.
I think Miami, Mensimer more in particular, is looking for a hold. I mean, he was all over him. That USF Bowl was kind of just draped over him as he had the puck. So I think the whole Miami Hurricanes bench just wanted a call. But Brad's putting away their whistles here within 2 minutes. 1:23 left to go.
Offside was the whistle. Hoffman has to stay because the puck's at neutral, as the draw is won by USF. Kept in by Fleer. Taken away by Zadakis. Astelin's got Fensterstock. Bouncing up, and Miami has to retreat because they're offside. Caballero just weaves through. Wanted to send it towards net, but it's a block by Zadakis as we're in the final minute of play.
Yeah, it seems like the refs are really putting away the whistles here.
Alain Estlin walks in as Hoffman makes his way to the bench. And a turnover in the defensive zone. Hits the ceiling and out.
Ooh, Hurricanes catch a little bit of a break there. I don't think the USF player was quite aware that the net was now empty, but he decided to chip that one up and it hit the low ceilings of Kendall Ice Arena.
And also, they only had that opportunity because Miami had some miscommunication in that offensive blue line. But now have a chance to reset. Sam Stone, the spare man for Tom Mamello. Zadakis with a shot, burst in front, scramble in the crease, still loose. Who's got it? Back in front, Estelin fires off of Sheridan. It's still loose in the low slot. 34 seconds to go. Estelin sends it wide. Fensterstock to push it in. Estelin off the feet from Fensterstock. Sheridan without a stick in front. Went off of the leg of Sheridan. Mensimer across. Estelin fires. Got it off. Gets it down. And it's icing against USF.
Connor Sheridan is just being absolutely ridiculous right now. This man is single-handedly giving this one a 1-goal lead for the USF Bulls, just with show-stopping save after show-stopping save. And Miami with 12 seconds left to go for a last breath, and USF is going to take a timeout here. Probably to discuss what I'd imagine that they do here, right, on the board. They want you to win the draw and then just kind of either if you can pin it to the boards and just put it on your skate and put the puck in the boards, or if you can just dive on the puck. A lot of guys get like hate for doing that, but that's a lot of times what they're probably discussing right now. We'll see how they do it. But Miami on the other side of the bench, right? Now they're saying, can we get someone in the slot, right? Can we get someone going? Quick shot, quick rebound, and possibly a goal at the back of the net. And there's not much you can do in 12 seconds, but as we just see him get the board out, the Miami head coach is very articulate with this play, so we need to see what he'll do with his top unit on the ice.
Only 12 seconds left to go, the third period of play. USF have the 1-goal lead, but Miami, if they can somehow muster something up to potentially get this one past Connor Sheridan, who is trying to wash away the stench of his last start. That was a 4-4 draw against FAU back in Tampa. I'm sure it'll be an opportunity for Sheridan to make it 3 consecutive unbeaten if he can close out the last dozen. But it's Sudeikis, Ferry, Fensterstock, Estelin, Mensimer, and Stone for the University of Miami. Ferry sends that one directly towards net. Side of the net it goes. Captain Mensimer fires off of Sheridan. Side of the net, still loose. Final 5 seconds to go. Miami can't get possession. Ferry, one final shot, and that'll do it. Miami started off hot, but the fire eventually sizzled out. And eventually it was USF who created a spark as they come back to win it off a 2-goal deficit to claim the win 6-5.
Yeah, but I mean, if I'm Miami, right, I wouldn't hang my heads. This is the #1 team in the College Hockey South Division II Conference, right? But, I mean, you really wanted this one. I mean, you had a 2-goal lead going into the third period, and then the wheels kind of just fell off. But Connor Sheridan, honestly, the #1 reason why the Bulls come away with this win. I mean, he is your MVP for tonight's game. Just creating amazing save after amazing save against this top unit that was having a field day, quite frankly, in the first period and the second period as well. But, you know, I'm still proud of this Miami team. They came in strong, but still need to fix a couple things so that they can finish games like these.
That'll do it for us in Game 1 of our 2-game matinee doubleheader here at Kendall Ice Arena. We've got the D3 teams between South Florida and Miami that will be starting off momentarily as they clear down the ice, get ready for warm-ups. We'll be back for Game 2 of our doubleheader. Follow us along the entire way through on our University of Miami Hockey Network on YouTube the entire way through, not just today, but the rest of the season as well. For our entire University of Miami hockey broadcast crew, alongside Connor Stein, my name is Ryan Lee. Thank you so much for joining us. Stick around for night 2 of the doubleheader. Thank you for joining us, and stay tuned.